Hey YouTube, if you have a Brothersoft laser printer and it is failing prints because it's no longer pulling paper from the tray further into the machine, I'm going to show you how to fix that. Okay, so here's my little 3D printed block that fixes the issue with the printer. If you can see here, when this arm is not engaged fully to the left side here, if I spin this roller down here, or any of these rollers, it does not engage in the whole entire system. So here's the so you'll notice that after your prints fail, when you pull open your paper tray, you'll see that this top paper that's supposed to go into the machine, it'll just be curled up towards this roller right here. It'll be turned up towards there, but it will not travel further into the machine. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and pull your tray out. Lift up the top portion of your printer, pop down the front portion of your printer. Here, with this top screw. Turn your printer to this on its side. Printer's turned on its side. This is the rear, this is the front. A little tab right there. This other tab is right here. Fingernail under it and pop upward. And pop upward. With those two tabs pulled up, you kind of just want to pull it down and away from the top. Now this will kind of lift off here, pull it off this way. So here's a closer look at the mechanism that's causing the issue. If you can see here closely, this gray block, this is 3D printed, and this is what I used to fix my issue. Under the gray block is this white arm right here that I'm flicking my fingernail on. That right there falls out of its placement, and that's what causes the paper tray to stop engaging this gear system that's behind here. So this gear system will no longer engage with the rest of the mechanism, and that's what stops the paper from being picked up. So I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to get access to this area. So the first thing you're going to need to remove is this screw right here. Next, you're going to move this metal plate, and then you'll remove this motor. All you have to do is get a spludger or get your fingernail and get it right behind this little piece of plastic right here. And then as you pull it back, lift up. Here's a closer look. You'll need to pull this back slightly so you can lift the whole motor up. Without it out of the way, you can see further into the system. So this arm right here will fall off of this little... I don't understand how it happens, but it it manages to fall off, and that stops the rollers from turning and picking up the paper. So what I did was I measured the inside of here and created this 3D printed block, which forces this arm to stay down and stay in place. Therefore, all these gears engage like this. Because if I pull the block out, it will no longer engage. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so here's this little 3D printed block that I made to fit down into this empty space, into this cavity, which will hold this white arm onto the left, and it will stop it from falling out of place. So I'm going to move the arm, make it fully engage. See, now the gears, if I turn this front roller, the whole system it'll engage the entire system. and that will pull the paper in and you'll get perfectly fine prints. But for some reason this little arm will fall out of place. I'm going to put this little 3D printed block back in place. Now you can see I have the 3D printed block in place, and if I turn this top roller here, the entire system engages, and this arm will basically stay here and it won't fall out of place anymore. And basically from here you're just going to have to put all your pieces back in reverse order and your printer should print perfectly fine again. Okay, so we'll start the reassembly by placing the spring back in place, while making sure that it goes down and around this black tab down there. And next we're going to have to take this arm and stretch it all the way over to the left.
Get over here!
Lift up slightly with my other finger. Then next you'll put the motor back on. If you look closely you'll see that it's kind of like a half moon. So you're just going to have to match that up to the half moon. But you need to make sure that it gets in between these two fingers here. You press down. Now everything's back in place. I'm going to put the side panel back on. So when we took our side panel off, we sort of removed it in this manner. So we're going to reverse and put it back on in the same manner. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take your left side, you're going to stick it down back behind the printer, and then you're going to make sure that this tab clears. And on the front you have these two tabs, which you're going to have to make sure that they clear the front. There's a tab here and a tab here. So you're going to take your left side, stick it down behind the printer, make sure it fits, make sure this other one clears as well. Sort of press down and rotate upward, and when you do that, if you put a little pressure on the top, these will almost want to fall into place, but make sure they clear, and then you push up and the two tabs will have cleared. The tab here and the tab here. Alright, we have the printer put back together and all set back up. We're going to go ahead and give it a test print.
Oh yeah!
Well, there you go.